Tennessee quarterback Joe Milton is one of the quarterbacks currently in the competition to be the starting quarterback at Tennessee. And last week we put out a video kind of showcasing what he does well, what he brings to the table, and how he could potentially be a good quarterback at Tennessee. But today I want to talk about the areas of improvement, what kind of he needs to fix and kind of build on to be a good quarterback at Tennessee, because there are a few areas that we need to correct to fit this offense and to do it well. So again, last week was the video showcasing his ability. I think he's got tons of potential. I think he can really be a good quarterback in this system if he cleans these things up, because the potential is there. It's just a matter of cleaning up these areas of improvement and just repeating the good plays, because the good plays that he shows are really good, but then there are plays that just kind of have you scratching your head. So if he can repeat the good plays, he could be a good quarterback at Tennessee. But I digress. I want to dive into the film of what he needs to do to improve. We're going to look at the game against Indiana, the same game we looked at his kind of good things last week. We're going to use that same game to look at the areas of improvement. But before we dive into the actual film, I just want to encourage all to consider subscribing to our YouTube channel if you like any quarterback-related content. We've been putting out a lot of Tennessee videos lately, so I might need to get a Tennessee shirt as we break down these quarterbacks. Okay, let's dive into the content of the actual video. So we're going to watch the Indiana film, and one of the knocks on him is his accuracy, right? Being inaccurate. He had a completion percentage of, I believe, let me pull it up, of 56 last year, and that was in about 5 games starting, I believe. He got benched one of those games, and then he got a little playing time in the game he did not start in. But I want to look at why he's inaccurate, because it's not just missing wide open receivers. And yes, I admit there are times he does miss open receivers and that you want him to make those throws, but more times than not, it's a timing issue or it's just a bad read, just not the right read. So we're going to look at a few examples of timing issues and some just kind of bad reads in general. And I'm going to show a few times he does miss open receivers, but he has the ability to hit those throws. And so more times than not, he's inaccurate because of timing or because of just the read itself. And let's look at the games last year real quick. Completion percentage, he was only over 60% in 2 of the 5 games starting, 62% against Michigan State, 68% against Minnesota. The other games were 52%, 47%, and 41% completion percentage in the games that he started. So definitely an area you want to improve on and fix, especially in a Tennessee offense where you want some like higher percentage throws. And I think he'll get that because the reads won't be as complex in this offense compared to Michigan. So let's go ahead and dive into the film, just look at the examples I'm talking about, and I'll catch you on the back end. So here's an example of a timing issue from Milton. We're going to see the receiver at the top of the screen just kind of run a go route. It's cover 2, and Milton tries to fit the ball into the hole. So it's actually a good decision, good read, but it's a timing issue that makes his ball incomplete here. So we'll watch it real quick, then kind of look at why the timing was bad. And the type of throw was bad too. It should have been on a line, which of course he has the arm to do. So we'll go ahead and watch it. Let's go back just a few seconds more. So the ball needs to be coming out now, right? His back foot's here. He takes an extra hitch, which allows the safety to get over, and the ball floats a little bit. The ball needs to be coming out now, fitting that hole here. We're taught as quarterbacks and the receiver is even with the DB he's leaving, not to mention its zone here. You can tell that with the DB looking back to the quarterback, so the ball should be out now. Instead, the hitch comes, takes the hitch, and then throws it now. The ball just floats on him. It should have been on a line there. So the timing issue is what led to that incomplete pass there, not necessarily the decision, because it was a good decision. It was just the time. Again, let's watch here. I'll pause when the ball needs to be out. 1, 2, ball comes out. He hitches instead, then just floats it up as opposed to putting it on a line there. So here's a good example of a timing issue and a kind of just a bad read too, kind of a combination of things. We'll see the inaccurate throw, not inaccurate, but just the late throw there. So let's go ahead and just kind of watch why here. I'll pause it right now. So there's 2 things going on. If you're going to throw that, it's not necessarily a bad read. It just needs to come out now. So that is what is the kind of timing issue in the play here, as opposed to hitching up and waiting to throw it. Now you have guys breaking in on it. But read-wise, the ball probably should have gone here, because even right here before the ball is thrown, this backer comes in here. This safety is more to the middle of the field as opposed to hitting over here, and this DB is going down to the swing running back here. And so the ball probably should have been coming out here or to the space here, leading him up here as opposed to here. So again, timing issue and a kind of probably just the wrong read as well. We can watch it from the end zone angle. Let's see if I can hurry this thing along real quick. So if the ball's out now, that's a good read, right? But it's not. Waits for a second, and then the ball probably should have gone to that corner over there. So here's an incompletion on a corner route here, which we'll see, and it's not even an inaccurate issue here. It's more just a read thing here. So he's starting to throw it to the receiver here, and it's actually kind of smart to lead him back this way. But when you have an up top safety, it's not what you want to do. We'll go ahead and watch it one more time here. Again, it's not so much that it's an inaccurate throw. It's just the read here. Probably better throwing it away or trying to take off and run here. The ball is out. You have the safety sitting here. I'm sorry, the corner sitting there. Safety up top here, and you got two receivers kind of running in the same area there. So something maybe was potentially off. Maybe if this guy was running more inside or a seam, which maybe he's supposed to do, then it would have been open. But again, more of a read issue there than an accurate issue. So here's an example of an incompletion due to a read here. We're going to see kind of a skinny post / bang route. Really good coverage. It's hard to fit that ball. So let's go ahead and see where he probably should have gone, because quarterbacks with strong arms like Milton can sometimes fall in love with their strong arms or just rely on their strong arm too much. Look, we got a receiver coming open right here. Pretty good coverage here. Now, if you can make an argument that if you throw the ball out there, it could have been completed, but it wasn't necessarily the bad throw. It was just an inaccurate or not the right read, because you got a guy coming over the middle of the field. Much easier throw as opposed to trying to make this tough throw here. So just a read issue of why it was incomplete there, not to mention the up top safety coming over too. Let's watch the end zone angle too. I'm sorry, the behind the center angle. And kind of get a view from it. 1-2 hitch up. So right now you got receiver coming over the middle. Going to be an easier throw. Choose to go that route, and that's just a very hard throw to make. So here's another example of just trying to fit a ball when nothing is there and relying too much on his arm. So you can probably chalk this up as a read issue here, because there is another receiver that is actually open. Gets there. There's nothing there. Good coverage there. So just trying to rely too much on his arm. We'll go back and look at it. And that is pass interference, but still, we're looking at the read here. So pass interference, but still is the read. The ball should have been thrown. Part of the outside receiver. We'll pause it now. We got a hole shot right there, which would have been an easy throw for Milton. Keep the safety in the middle of the field. Hit that throw here. So again, just a read issue. Why it was an incompletion. Good arm, obviously, but when you rely on that arm, sometimes you get incompletions like that and just try to force things. So here's an interception by Milton. It's kind of just an example of throwing it just to throw it. We got verticals going. Boom. We're going downfield and just throwing it to throw it. Not sure what's going on there, but could just throw it away or step in the pocket and see if something else develops. So just an example of throwing it just to throw it, which of course you do not want to do as a quarterback. Let's see if we can speed this up here. Let's see if we can see what he's looking at. So yep, plenty of time in the pocket, just a decision factor there and a read issue there that led to the interception. So here's an example of Milton just missing a wide open receiver coming down the middle of the field here. I know there's pressure in his face, but still a throw that he would tell you himself he probably has to make. Even with pressure in his face, you still want to be able to hit a guy that wide open, even if you take some off the ball and you don't lead him. Let's watch the behind the center angle so you can kind of get a fair view of things. There's pressure in his face, but just a ball that you want to be able to hit still. So pressure in the face, but still has a relatively clean pocket for being able to make that completion there. So just an example of just missing a guy that is running open. So here's a miss just being off target. We have a little bang route here, and good timing, good read. Everything was correct. It was just a throw here. So just an example of missing a guy that is coming open. I do think Milton can make those throws. He did it throughout this game, and so you just want to be able to repeat those type of accurate throws as opposed to missing an open guy like this here. So just an example of missing a throw that should have been made. So again, just a few plays that show why there were so many incompletions. Timing issues and just not making the right reads. And yes, I know I did show some plays of missing open receivers. So yes, you can say there were accuracy issues as well, but I think he's more of an accurate quarterback than given credit for. I think he needs to clean up some of the timing and some of just the reads. I think he can do that at Tennessee if he is the starting quarterback. But I want to encourage you to go back and watch our older video that we put on him, because we did highlight and showcase his ability, because he has a lot of ability. So we do show a lot of things. We showed a lot of the clips of what he does well as a quarterback. So if you like this video, go back and check that video as well, and we'll continue to put out quarterback content and cover this Tennessee quarterback competition as things develop. But let us know in the comments below, what do you think Milton's chances are? Do you think he can clean up the areas he needs to fix to be the starting quarterback? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time on the next quarterback-related video.